The young woman in front of us, only 22 years old, had already been working at a foot massage parlor for 3 years. When she was found again, she had become a naked, cold corpse in her rental room. Shockingly, multiple condoms were found at the scene, suggesting that she had endured inhumane torture before her death. The perpetrator had premeditated the crime long in advance, seemingly intent on playing a game of wits with the police. On March 9, 2013, in a residential area of Xi'an City, Brother Wang, as usual, was collecting rent from various rental units. However, something strange happened at Unit 308. The female tenant had mysteriously disappeared. After knocking on the door and getting no response, Brother Wang called her phone, only to find that it was turned off. Left with no other choice, he contacted the property management to assist him in opening the door. When they forced the door open, they discovered a body lying on the bed in the bedroom. Brother Wang immediately called the police. Before long, the police arrived at the scene. The coroner conducted a preliminary examination of the body, and based on the scene, it was determined that the woman had died from mechanical asphyxiation, likely strangled. Her hands were tied behind her back, and her height was less than 2 meters. Based on her skin and teeth, she was estimated to be in her 20s. The police asked Brother Wang to identify the body, but due to the advanced decomposition and blurred features, he could not confirm if it was indeed the female tenant. Brother Wang recalled that, about 90 days earlier, a young and beautiful woman had rented the room under a 1-year contract for 900 yuan per month. The woman had identified herself as he and left a phone number on the rental agreement. Using this information, the police quickly found her details in the database. He was from a rural area in Anhui, born in 1990. She had started working outside her hometown after dropping out of elementary school. Meanwhile, the police made a new discovery during the investigation in the living room's trash can. They found 2 cigarette butts, and both the bedroom and the living room contained small yellow calendars. Strangely, the calendars seemed to have been deliberately left open to January 2013. In the bedroom, they also found a receipt for picking up photos, dated January 9. Considering that Brother Wang reported the incident on March 9, the police speculated that the woman had been dead for at least 2 months. The police visited the photo studio and retrieved the photos, confirming that the person in the photos was indeed he. So, who was the victim in the rental room? To quickly confirm her identity, the police collected DNA from his parents and compared it to the victim's, confirming that the victim was indeed he. They also discovered that between November and December 2012, he had multiple hotel check-ins recorded, despite not having a boyfriend. This led the police to suspect that she might have been engaged in illegal activities. At that moment, the police discovered a small yellow alarm clock under the bedside table. It seemed to have fallen during a struggle, and its hands had stopped at 3:14. Could this be the time of the crime? To confirm this, the police interviewed his neighbor, old Zhang. Zhang recalled seeing the victim once from afar but didn't hear anything suspicious during that time, as he worked night shifts regularly. The police also discovered 2 used condoms in the bedroom and bathroom trash cans. Could these have been left by the perpetrator? The police sent them for forensic analysis. Meanwhile, they noticed handwritten notes on the back of the calendar, mentioning a man named Duan Gang and a phone number. Who was Duan Gang? Could he be connected to the murder? Police quickly gathered information on Duan Gang. Born in 1981, Duan was a local resident of Xi'an. Years ago, he married after being introduced to his current wife. 3 months later, his wife gave birth to a child named Wang Xiaoming. The police began investigating Duan's social connections and made him the prime suspect. Duan lived with his family, including his mother and sister, and led a modest life, barely making enough to support his family. His wife had even bought him a silver gray car as a gesture of gratitude for his hard work raising their child. Duan was summoned by the police for questioning. Upon seeing his photo, Duan immediately recognized her, admitting they had been casual friends but hadn't been in touch for a while. Duan was shocked to hear of her death. He recounted that on December 15, 2012, while driving his wife's car, he had picked up he, who was flagging down a ride. She offered to pay him 300 yuan to drive her to the airport, and Duan agreed. After the ride, they exchanged phone numbers, and a few days later, he contacted him, inviting him to dinner. Duan said their relationship quickly became intimate. Forensic evidence matched Duan's DNA with the semen found on the victim, and Duan admitted to having sex with her on January 9 around 3 p.m., the exact time the clock had stopped. However, Duan claimed that after they had sex, he mentioned she was going back to her hometown for a while and they lost contact after that. He didn't think much of the relationship until the police approached him. Further investigation revealed that police found a roll of duct tape and a piece of white nylon rope in Duan's car, similar to those used to bind the victim. Duan claimed these items were requested by he, though he didn't know what they were for. Despite the evidence, the police still felt something was off. Why would Duan, if he had committed the crime, leave such incriminating evidence in plain sight? The police continued to investigate his social circle and uncovered a crucial lead at a foot massage parlor. His former co-worker recalled that he had quit her job because she couldn't stand the smell of customers' feet. She was last seen getting into a brand new black SUV, which belonged to Zhang Cheng, a local businessman. Zhang had a history of criminal activity but had become successful in the electrical equipment business. Further investigation of his bank account showed a deposit of 40,000 yuan between December 2012 and January 2013, an unusually large amount for someone working at a foot massage parlor. At the same time, police discovered that Zhang's personal secretary was Duan's sister, Duan Li, who had been working for Zhang for several years. Duan Li revealed her relationship with Zhang, explaining that although she knew Zhang was married, they had developed an affair. Zhang had even purchased a house in her name. Her family, including her brother Duan Gang, disapproved of the relationship. Despite this, Duan Li continued seeing Zhang in secret. Zhang, feeling resentful of Duan Gang for interfering, had begun plotting revenge. Police discovered a mobile phone in Zhang's office, containing call records between him and he. Zhang admitted that in November 2012, he had met he through a friend at the foot massage parlor. He had then instructed her to seduce Duan Gang, secretly recording their encounters. He promised he 150,000 yuan if she succeeded, giving her 40,000 yuan up front. However, when he demanded the remaining money, Zhang, afraid she would expose him, strangled her and staged the scene to frame Duan Gang. Zhang was arrested and confessed to the murder. He will now face justice for his crime.